We are on the road to WrestleMania, and March 25th, Monday Night Raw was amazing. Straight 10 out of 10. Spoiler alert, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. We opened up the show with Cody Rhodes, and I was thinking, all right, where are we going with this? What's going to happen? No bloodline, no Roman Reigns, no Rocky Johnson. Maybe we got CM Punk coming out, a little stare down, a little, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman even. I don't know. But Cody doing his typical Cody promo, which was fun, exciting. The crowd was into it. The crowd was amazing throughout the entire night. And one of the biggest surprises, man, The Rock comes out. He wasn't even scheduled. It was so epic. It was, man, everything it needed to be. His entrance, the final boss, he's staring down at Cody, and the crowd is just going nuts. It created this electric atmosphere, and it was like a lightning bolt injected into the show, because then we transitioned to the Judgment Day, which obviously is not as hype, but with the whole R-Truth stuff going on, Damian Priest being Senor Money in the Bank, not really knowing when he's going to cash that in. They're kind of making us forget about that. They're focusing on the tag team titles, and Damian Priest is like, hey, we got to come up with a game plan. I got something for you. So, point is, I wasn't too thrilled about the JD match that was coming up with Ricochet, but even then, that promo did a good job kind of setting it up. That was match of the night for me. Dominic Mysterio was ringside doing the whole manager card where he was trying to get JD to get the win, but, Ricochet was just too much for JD last night, and I love that Ricochet, had that amazing reversal flip. He did his splash in the turnbuckle. JD overselling as usual, as great as he does. I was fascinated by these two. As much as I don't really care for JD McDonough, I gotta be honest, the guy sells like crazy, and I gotta give a shout out to my boy Carter. Carter calls him Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad. Imagine that. If you don't know who Lord Farquaad is, look him up. He's from the Shrek universe. We had a very, very long and awesome CM Punk promo. That promo took up most of the show, but damn, was it well worth our time. He gets interrupted by Drew. Drew gets interrupted by Seth. CM Punk got annoyed. He pandered to the Chicago crowd, but also dropped a lot of future hints, saying that Roman on the way down will meet with CM Punk at some point in time. And that tease, man, he's done it now 2 or 3 times. I can't wait to see all these matchups. Punk versus Rollins, Punk versus Drew, Punk versus Roman versus Cody. I mean, I'm looking forward to everything with CM Punk when he heals up. And it's unfortunate, but last night was just a teaser of what we can get with CM Punk in this final run in WWE. And Seth Rollins held his own, but I think that Drew McIntyre has been the bright light shining through it all. As great as CM Punk was, Drew McIntyre, man, he really stood his ground, and I thoroughly enjoyed his performance and the way he sat on the announcer's table, got the crowd involved. I mean, he's on his A game. This is Drew in his bag, and I'm all for it. They've done a great job building Shinsuke up with the subtitled promos and the nice ambience, making it feel like a movie, but I just hate that they've built him up only to bring him down. And we mentioned this on last night's stream. It's either him or Bronson Reed getting the airtime to ultimately catapult someone. And it sucks, because I know everyone can't be featured at WrestleMania unless you throw them into the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial over the top rope extravaganza. But, it sucks because Shinsuke is amazing. They also teased that we're going to get Meek Mill at WrestleMania. He's a Philly native, so I see it. I get it. He's good. I'm wondering what the hell he's going to perform. They showed the commercial for the Roman Reigns documentary. They also showed Miz versus Daniel Bryan for Rivals. This Sunday is going to be phenomenal for WrestleMania season. Paul Heyman directed and produced the Roman Reigns documentary, so I'm eager to see how that elevates Roman's story, like the one that they did on the Peacock Network called Evil. That one was cool, and it pretty much set up The Rock versus Roman. I'm wondering if they do the same with Roman's documentary here. And how cool to see A&E and WWE still feature Bryan Danielson, despite him being in AEW and very much active over there. You know, the women's division didn't get too much love outside of Rhea and Becky. They had a good segment, but Candice was going up against Ivy now, and you know, they're kind of turning Candice and Indy Hartwell. Indy is confused at the moment. She don't know where to go with this, but Candice is all in, and I love the fact that she did her Eddie Guerrero nursing the injury, and then she got the win over Ivy now. Obviously, they're dropping some tidbits. Something's going to happen there. I hope it's not a breakup just yet. We need some more women tag team, established women tag teams, and breaking them up so soon just doesn't really have a lot of value to me. But then we had a tag team segment for the men's division backstage, hyping up that ladder match at WrestleMania with DIY, New Day, and Awesome Truth. R-Truth is just, he's on this amazing run with his comedy, perfect timing, his delivery, his matches, everything in between has just been spectacular. And New Day, being one of the better tag teams in recent memory, you know, kind of standing their ground against DIY, but DIY firing back saying, hey, you guys haven't really done that hot at WrestleMania either. So it was a cool segment to elevate their matchup. I really like that. More interesting tidbits backstage was Drew McIntyre seen with Paul Heyman. What are they cooking up for WrestleMania? Obviously, we saw Drew McIntyre at the end of the night, but what are they cooking up for WrestleMania? They're teasing the Bloodline having some sort of influence with that Seth Rollins bout. So it's going to be crazy to see how that plays out, considering that CM Punk will be at the commentary table. The tag team match was cool. A lot of action. It ended in a brawl. Judgment Day imposing their will. They wanted to attack everyone, and we had Dominic Mysterio and JD out there. I'm like, what are they doing out there? It's supposed to be Finn and Damian Priest, but they wanted to set an example, take out R-Truth, take out everyone. Judgment Day is still trying to run Monday nights, and it was cool, but I figured that we would have gotten a full-blown match rather than the interrupted segment. But I get it. They were limited on time. They were trying to give us some matchups and some storytelling elements, building up towards the bigger picture, which is WrestleMania. Andrade, who was supposed to go up against Ivar was not medically cleared, so we got a random match with Vinci, which didn't really have any real story, but we saw Andrade performing at full speed and once again showing how impressive he is in the ring. I hope he really gets over with the crowd. They're teasing Andrade on Judgment Day in some capacity because Dominic Mysterio is now somehow feuding with Rey Mysterio and his LWO, so let's see where that goes. Then we had Rhea Ripley cutting a promo, getting interrupted by Becky. I didn't like that Becky was taking out Dominic Mysterio. They've done a good job keeping Dominic as a comedy act, but, you know, little by little making him a little more serious. And I feel like they kind of brought him back down with this Becky situation and Rhea. I saw the passion between the two. Rhea struck a nerve. Becky went all out with her intensity, you know, and that passion that we needed to see from Big Time Bex. I know she's promoting her book, but this feud has had more Nia in it than Rhea and Becky, and they're finally saying, all right, we got to turn it up a notch, and they did so tonight. So I liked what they did. The intensity was there. I'm looking forward to next week's episode to see how they can further that story. Chad Gable not being at WrestleMania is a travesty. I was super heated when Sami Zayn got that win over Chad Gable in the roll-up. I think Chad Gable's the one that deserved it, in my opinion. We always talk about who deserves it. Not that Sami doesn't deserve to be at WrestleMania, but Sami could have gone up against Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania if they would have built towards that. But they obviously blew it early on Monday Night Raw. So Chad Gable is seen kind of teasing a turn because he's been firing up Sami Zayn. This night was all about firing on all cylinders and firing up. I've said that over and over because they were trying to just elevate everything on the card for WrestleMania, and this was no different. Pretty much set the tone for Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn, because Chad is like, bro, you get distracted. This is not about Gunther. You have Bronson Reed out there. Keep your head in the game. You're out of it. Sami agreed, but he still lost because Gunther came out, stood at the stage, and as good as that match was, we saw Bronson Reed do his tsunami, splashing on Sami, taking him out for good and capturing the win. You know, that was cool. That was cool to see. I thought Bronson Reed would lose, but I like that Bronson Reed picked up the win, even if it was meaningless. We got to see Bronson Reed in action. Jey Uso got interrupted backstage by Solo and Jimmy, pretty much making it known that the Bloodline was in the house. I figured at that point that they were going to 100% get involved. We wouldn't see the finale to Shinsuke and Jey Uso. But I was like, all right, let's see what they end up cooking up here. Seth tells Jay, hey, I got your back. So I'm like, yeah, this is going to be another big brawl. We got another big brawl on Monday Night Raw. Let's see what they do. Jay and Nakamura were cooking. They had their epic entrances. The crowd was loving it. We were loving it. But they're just waiting for the interference, pretty much, is what I felt like. We were all sitting there like, all right, when is Solo and Jimmy coming out? So Solo and Jimmy did come out through the crowd, and Seth and Cody came out immediately as well, and it just became this whole massive brawl, which ultimately led to the epic conclusion to Monday Night Raw.
To all you CodyCryBabies, to him, to Mama Rose.
The Rock hasn't done this in so long. It obliterated Cody with everything inside. Toolboxes, trash cans, the barricade. Took him outside with the rain. Threw him up against his bus. It was amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. My goodness. What a segment to end Monday Night Raw. Reminds me why the road to WrestleMania is so special, y'all. And The Rock making Cody bleed the way he bled, and mentioning Mama Rhodes and the belt with blood on it. It was poetry in motion. Perfect ending. We will remember that finale for years to come. The Rock being involved is better than The Rock not being there. A lot of people are like, oh, Cody needs to finish his story. Cody. Now people are saying, oh, man, now it's all about Cody and The Rock. Where's Roman? The conversation has changed, and that's the impact of The Rock. And it's okay for Roman to take a backseat a little bit. Roman has been the center stage to it all, and what he said on the Pat McAfee show is right. It's true. It's all about him. It's always been about him in the last couple of years. They need to build everyone up around him to that level, and they have. And this was an example of that. I absolutely loved Monday Night Raw. It's been a while since I've given Monday Night Raw a 10 out of 10. I usually stick to 8, 8.5 because it's as good as it can be. But on the road to WrestleMania, you got The Rock, you got all these promos, you have the intensity, you have the entire roster fired up, and that's the results. Triple H cooked. WWE was on another level. So that's all from me in this review for Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit me up in the comment section. What did you give Monday Night Raw 1 through 10? What got you hyped up for WrestleMania?